Yeah, let's get that arm in.
Yeah. You want to hold here? Get it in?
Yeah, please, if you don't mind.
You got it.
Copy that.
Good morning, ROV Nav. How can I help you today?
Just let you guys know we are safely on the bottom and bailout is still due north.
Good copy. Bailout is due north, and you guys have arrived at the bottom of the ocean floor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bridge.
Almost there.
Sure. Yeah, take your time.
This is a brief general announcement to everybody on shore and on the ship that all audio is currently being recorded.
I can't
Okay.
Transmitted live over the internet and all over the world.
Can you maybe bring out
So
my
just be aware of that and
lowers?
enjoy your dive.
Loudly.
You got it?
Really? All right, good morning all, or afternoon, wherever you happen to be.
Just at that 45, at the typical 45.
Hit the bottom here at, we're not at Fina Nautico.
And actually,
Northwest
you can go down
Corner,
10 meters.
Seamount.
Got
I'm
it.
so used to saying it now. So today's dive, we're going to be moving up
10
the
meters.
slope. When we reach the summit of this extinct seamount, we will hopefully see lots of great biology, hopefully some mature coral communities.
So basically we're at a depth now of 1,340 meters, and just as Deb said, we're hoping that, you know, on seamount features you tend to get these really luxuriant, and I don't want to, you know, get everybody's hopes up when then we don't see that, but
Yeah,
usually,
that's probably
especially
good
for
there.
instance in past
Okay,
cruises
holding
on the Okeanos Explorer, for instance in the northwestern Hawaiian Islands,
So we're
we
going to
see
be
these
rotated.
extremely abundant and diverse
Starboard
communities
because of the
of
tether.
corals and sponges.
Sure.
Usually on seamounts then
You're less
with
swim out here.
sort of a cobalt manganese crust. But we're not really sure what we're going to see here. We are
Okay, I'm bringing
hoping
my heading
for
around.
some great biology.
Okay. I don't
and
think you need to.
We're going
Don't
to
need
move
to?
up the
No.
slope
Okay.
and then hopefully have some time to sort of play
We'll hold
around on
here.
the top of the
I'll come
slope,
down.
on the top of the summit of
come
the
down
seamount
a
as
little
well,
bit.
which will be about 1,200 meters depth, I think.
I
Oh,
thought
were
it
you
was
trying
higher
to
than
find
that.
the local high?
Yeah.
Shallower?
Shallower, yeah. I thought it was more like
But-
1,100, but I don't
Okay.
remember.
Yeah, go for it.
We can look.
Okay.
We
Maybe
can find out.
Just coming down. I'll turn port here.
Copy.
I'm gonna hold here.
And as always,
we
this
bring
is going
that
to be the
range in a
first
bit, Nav?
time anybody's ever imaged this area.
Serious.
First time anybody's dived on this extinct. Is it an extinct volcano? Yeah.
It's great.
It's extinct
Thanks.
volcano, and so we're just not sure what we're going to see, as always. So it should be really exciting.
I think right now we're just waiting for
All right.
the ROV
You all
pilots to
set?
set up.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Do you want to push out and I'll come down a bit?
Yeah, I can't push
Well, this is
much
really
further.
interesting. These
Okay.
are really
I'm
large,
coming down.
probably in place.
I think you're good there.
Fine.
Here,
Here.
We'll just start ops here.
They're much
Okay.
floppier than the stuff that we
Sounds
saw
good, and,
definitely yesterday and the day before even.
I agree. They're really nice, and they definitely do look like they're in place compared to a lot of the stuff we've seen recently.
Probably.
And there's biology at
Yeah, I
the top
think
of one of them.
190 looks pretty good. Yep.
See a lot of rounded edges too.
Yeah.
Which sort of telling us that this has been here and sort of gently eroding for some amount of time.
Let's see. Do you want to go ahead and get a ship moving, pilot?
Negative.
Okay.
Watch the nav. Or sorry, pilot. Watch the.
Did you want to talk to us?
Yeah, pilot.
Sorry, we got confused.
That coral when they're all
Yeah,
set
sorry.
up and moving in that direction.
What can we do for you?
Oh, you're very quiet.
What can we do for you?
I have you up all the way, just about. So we're all settled here.
Okay. Can we look at that animal up in the top of the screen?
I'm having
Please.
trouble hearing you guys. Maybe the mic location.
No, they're smack in front of our mouths.
I think maybe. Okay. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think what we're going to want to do is
Head up slope.
we're going to head up slope, and actually I want to make sure that we stay sort of towards the top of a ridge. We don't really want to fall off into tailless slopes on either side if we can help it. And I think there were some little pieces of biology we might want to image.
Okay.
But in general, the grand scheme is to just move up the slope, trying to stick with the geology rather than big piles of sedimented mush.
Copy that. Okay. Well, let's get that ship moving while we take.
So this particular
Images here.
animal, it'd be worth getting a close-up on. I'm pretty sure I know what it is and punched it in the event log, but we'll wait a few moments. I
Come
don't
on in
think
video.
we've seen it before on this cruise.
We have. We saw one at the beginning of our third dive, I think, Chris.
What is it?
A polychelid.
Well, no, this is he's kind of right on top of the ridge right now, so maybe
sort
we.
of the living fossil version
Even out here.
for lobsters. It's a very primitive
think
lobster.
That's good because it looks like a
190.
lobster. That was what I was thinking. That's very interesting. So, what makes it so primitive?
It's not really clear. I don't know it. Well, I just know that that's how it's often
30 's fine.
described.
Yeah, just tether length.
Maybe it shows up in the fossil record, and got very
Come live video.
Yep.
unusual sort of non-lobster-like claws on the
Cool.
side, but this isn't my area.
Go ahead,
Maybe
ROV.
Mary Wickstein, if
I'd like
she
to request a ship move.
could explain it better.
But Chris, yeah, we did see one of these on. I think it was the third dive because I'd never seen third or fourth dive because I'd never seen one.
190 speed, decimal 2 knots.
Apart
Good copy.
from in Okeanos videos from the Hawaiian Islands.
I'll also mention that I think that these have a pretty heavy manganese crust on them
yeah.
because when we zoomed
Got them
in
in
on the
OKEX.
lobster,
Not
we
sure which
saw
one is
that
quiet
almost
for
like
you.
ball-like botryoidal shape that I believe
ROV
is
nav,
actually
position move initiated.
like it's sort of indicative that the Hawaiian Island areas had found
Okay,
that
let's
where
come
they
back in
found this
video.
sort of pebbly looking manganese crust.
So you can see the two things on the side of the lobster. Those are actually some really elongated arms with claws on them. So if
Really?
you were to swim away, yeah.
you
So
can
they're
see the
folded
claws.
in halfway.
Yeah, you can totally
So
see the
they're-
little claws,
the
right?
claws are actually like double the length of his body.
Wow.
Well, the legs with the claws on the end.
This guy does not seem to be disturbed by us.
So we kind of barreled into our dive today, and we didn't actually say who we were. So
I'm trying to
I'm
get his
Diva
eyes.
Amon, and I'm a postdoctoral researcher at the University of Hawaii, and I'm essentially the biology lead on this cruise. And Deb?
I'm Deb Glickson. I'm from Florida Atlantic University, Harbor Branch Oceanographic
Take that camera.
Institute.
Flip out.
I'm your geology lead for this this leg of the expedition. And actually, I was
Just do
thinking
one
that
tilt up.
for today,
bump
it
it
would
up.
be really nice when people speak up
Perfect.
for the first
Perfect.
time if they mentioned
you
who they
camera
were
back.
and
Thanks.
what their expertise was. And so for Chris and Mary Jo, you're going to have to do it the next time because you've already spoken up.
How's the lighting video? Can I adjust anything for you?
So
we do
right
another
next to
zoom or
the
two and I'll
polychelid, you can actually see a tiny
let you know.
amphipod.
It seems a
Sitting
bit
on
hot,
the,
but this
on the
is
cross next
it's
to
the
it.
type of animal that would be very reflective. So
But yeah, Deb, I think you're very right in saying this is a really encrusted this geology.
all right,
Fascinating.
Okay. We're clear.
video's clear.
Copy that.
And the ship is on the move.
All right, so I think we're going to start slowly wandering up slope. I'm going to take a look
Yeah, so we're
at
at
the
190.
geology and
Looks like this little
biology
ridge
as
kind
we
of curves up to the left.
move up.
Okay. Let's
So-
let's
And
So if you just want to
then
follow the ridge, and I'll
hopefully when we get to the
Sure.
top, we should see some really interesting
let's keep an
stuff
eye
today.
out for overhangs.
Not that we won't
Sure.
see interesting stuff on the
places
way
like
up.
that.
Sure. Can we brighten up Sirius a bit, video?
Of course.
Thanks. Great,
There were
thanks.
definitely some corals that we just moved over. And by definitely, I mean that's what the shore-based science team told me, so I trust them.
Gonna do a quick pilot change, watch these.
Okay. So we're looking at an area that now it's just much more sedimented than it was just a minute ago.
Yeah, even just a second ago where the slope was very steep, there was still quite a bit of sediment on that, almost vertical rock outcrop that we were sitting in front of. And I guess I'll say that my name is Mary Jo Brown. I'm a postdoctoral scholar at the California Institute of Technology, and I am a geotechnics business petrologist.
Thanks, Mary Jo. Thanks for identifying
Yeah,
yourself.
that was great.
Too. You remembered. I'm very excited.
Okay, so pilots, just a heads up. I think one of the main focuses of this dive, biology-wise, is going to be a lot of the coral. So don't just shoot by coral, if that's possible.
Okay, we'll keep an eye out for coral.
Like the two we just drove by.
Yeah, exactly.
That wasn't your fault. That was
Okay.
ours. That was us.
I'm looking ahead, not below.
I think it's helpful if you.
Yeah, just let us know
Just
if you
let
see
us know.
anything.
No, we definitely will.
I see something in the middle. I thought, like right up, it's coming into like the center right
So
now.
I think there's a crinoid in the middle of the screen, sitting on the seafloor.
If it's not
Yeah.
a coral, are we just
No.
going
I think
We're
it's a
interested in
crinoid.
everything.
Oh,
but
everything,
I'm
okay.
just saying, corals are particularly. There's a lot of coral folk on coral scientists on shore today.
Okay.
So I know they've tuned in especially for this dive.
Okay. Do you want to do a snap zoom video?
Sure thing.
We'll just get an ID.
Yep. So Comatulid crinoid, maybe Antidonidae.
Oh, maybe just keep it framed up. There you go.
Yeah, sure. Stand by one.
All right, let's zoom out.
Let's see. I think yeah, I'd say maybe 185. How's that sound?
Oh, there's a coral right below me, I think.
Okay.
I'm going to take a quick look at this coral and then we'll move on.
Copy. You got time.
Okay.
Copy that. Yeah, 185 is good with me.
All right, snap zoom video. Just to see if this is something you want to look closer at.
Yeah, can I ask a question? Did I just hear you say extended time on bottom?
Oh, yeah, just because we're shallow. We're looking at 6.5 hours. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was like, I don't think that's supposed to be today's dive. So wanted to
Yeah.
make sure.
Okay, so
Bonus.
this is an Antipitherian, which is a black coral, known colloquially as. I don't know if our scientists on shore know any better which one this is, but we haven't seen that many Antipitherians during this expedition. It's been mostly Isidids and Primnoids and Chrysogorgids.
RV nav bridge. Position move.
Do you want me to set down to get a better image, or are we just looking
no,
at
I
the
think
bridge?
this is okay. Yeah.
All right,
Thank
let's
you
zoom out
very
video.
much.
Copy that.
So
Yeah, just
Tina
a little bit of a current
Molodtsova,
today, not too bad.
No,
who's
it's not.
working in Russia,
Not
would
too
say
bad.
that that's Trissopathes. Thank you, Tina, for that ID.
All right. Coming up, so that last move was 185, you say?
Affirmative. And if you go up the hill, looks like there might be a coral or a sponge just right dead ahead.
I'll wait to call it in so you stretch out.
And so Tina said that that coral even had some very ripe gonads, so it was ready to reproduce. But Tina is the expert on black corals in the world, pretty much. So we're very happy to have her on shore providing us with her expertise.
Wonder if we could take a peek at the sponge.
Did you hear that, pilot?
I did, yep.
So
I saw that one coming.
I think they're both sponges. Yeah.
I think you have two different types of sponges. I think
There's a little coral down there.
this first one is a glass sponge, and the second one is a demo sponge, the feathery one.
All right, video, zoom in.
Holding
No,
partial.
they're all sponges, I think. No, actually no, everyone's correcting. Chris?
Do you want to take a look at the little white one that was on the side?
Oh yeah, I blew that. That's not a sponge. That's another.
So the one,
I think.
so the rightmost object was a sponge. Then the middle one is an Antipotherian again, heteropathes or black coral, and then there was something else a little bit more above it or to the left.
What about this one here?
Oh, okay. Then that looks like a stylasterid.
Saddling over.
The sponge is likely
Pretty far
Polyopogon.
away.
Yeah, that this coral on the right looks like a stylasterid.
You can zoom in video.
What's the little red thing next to it? Oh, and there's a little pagurid hermit crab next to the
Oh.
to the
That's cool.
stylasterid. Beautiful video, thank you.
There we go. Okay, zoom out.
This geology is just so different to
If we
yesterday.
can brighten it up a bit. Thanks. You're on it. Oh, there's a,
It definitely
is
is.
that a big
I
coral in
think,
the
I mean,
background there?
as Mary Jo mentioned, these
So,
are much
yeah,
more
can
I
rounded.
get over there okay?
And I'm
Yeah,
wondering
sure. I'll
whether
come
the
up a little.
rounding is
Okay.
due to the heavy
I'll
manganese
just pirouette around
crust.
this.
This looks really similar to what they were
Looks
seeing
like you
off
got, like,
in the northwestern
shat, like,
Hawaiian
I
islands.
Double images
Yeah.
going on there for a bit. That's weird. Is that monitor?
Might be.
I mean, it's sort of hard to tell what if this is, like a primary, if this
Yeah,
is what
you-
it looks like
you're only
all the
gonna
time,
have,
or if it's just that it's been
minute or two
really
to look at these, but-
overgrown with
Okay.
the manganese crust.
Maybe I'll head over there and then I'll pull up and.
I think you're okay.
Okay.
I'm not even looking straight down yet.
Okay.
I can always back the ship up. It's a.
No.
I think we'll just do a
Yeah, we don't need it.
quick look here.
Yeah, I think we should be all right.
There's a fish there for you. Red to the right.
Really?
Yeah.
So we're already starting to see more biology than we really have in
It
the
was
last couple
swimming
of
away
days,
pretty
or at
quickly.
least a density that is greater than we've
It was
seen in the last
bright red
couple
though.
of days.
That's
That's
good.
really-
Yeah.
I saw him
You're
in
not
Yeah, that was
Minisus, I believe.
Yeah, so most definitely. So I think it probably
Wanna
has
do
quite
a
a lot to
zoom-in
do
video?
with the
And we'll
sort
go
of
for
the
the black
symmetry
coral
of the
first.
area. It's before we were. Ooh, there's a big crab in that crevice.
Oh,
Before we were,
crap.
ooh,
Sorry, I'll get back to my discussion
Oh, that's
after
cool.
we finished this. Oh my god, it's exciting.
it's looking right at us.
Alright, stand by.
yeah, it's
I'll
saying, why are
adjust
you
the
here?
colors.
So I think this is a paralomus, which is a type of lithodid.
Ooh, it's moving.
Oh my god, so cool. Can we put on the other lasers on?
Laser's eye. They are.
Is his vision based on movement?
It's just like a T-Rex.
Oh.
Oh. I'll zoom out. Let's zoom out video and we'll get the lasers on him.
Alright.
Okay, so his carapace is about 8 centimeters, 7 centimeters across, sort of 8 centimeters across. So including his legs.
Got some time.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
going to be a pretty big guy. So yeah, probably paralomus, and then right in front of us we've got a bubblegum coral or paragorgid.
Doing a zoom in video on the coral?
Sure.
I mean, I
Or
think no. It's,
We got an
I
idea.
think,
Okay.
yeah.
What about the one below it, the black coral?
Oh, I didn't even see anything. Oh, and there's some commensal ophiroids on the paragorgid. Oh yeah, can we get a little quick zoom on the
Sure.
black coral as well? Get Tina happy.
Okay, video. Frame it up.
I can already tell today's going to be a busy dive.
That's great.
Okay, so this also is an Antipotherian, and Scott France from the Louisiana Lafayette is saying that, you know, it's pretty sparse branching. And there's also some squat lobsters living commensally in this black coral.
We're at the end of that move right now.
Yes. Oh yeah, we're settled out.
Do you need a closer look, or?
No, that's great.
Okay,
Thank
zoom out
you.
video.
You got all the time you want here.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
About this couple of dead stocks. Not sure what they are.
Dead stalk's not interesting.
Okay.
Dismissed.
All right.
Yeah, that's a cool crab.
Yeah.
So Tina was saying that black coral was also
sure.
Trissopathes. There's also a shrimp zooming in.
He's gone.
He's rambunctious.
Yep.
He's on the move. All right. Okay.
So
Should I just lift over this?
Yeah. I'm on heading.
Okay.
But you've got time. I think we should go ahead and call in another move.
30 meters.
3-0.
Bridge RV nav.
I'm looking at you, 70.
Go ahead, ROV.
Okay. I'm gonna push
I
out
got
of
another move for you. 30
We're getting moving
meters.
here.
You're bearing 185 degrees. 0.2 knots.
30 meters, bearing 185 degrees, 0.2 knots.
Good copy.
Can we gain down just a bit on D2 sonar? When you have a chance, Nev?
Yeah.
Let's just move initiated.
So as I was saying before,
Thank you, Rich.
seamounts, previously we've been working in calderas where currents tend to be a little bit more stagnant. But today we're working on a very exposed sort of seamount that, because seamounts are just kind of
Zoom in video.
mountains that kind of rise off the seafloor in the middle of nowhere a lot of the time. Okay, another Antipotherian here. Jesus, biology just keeps, you know,
Okay, let's zoom
obstructing
out.
my discourse.
Sorry, I'll try to hold it
So
longer next time.
basically, these what are mountains from off the seafloor, they disturb the usual current regime and end up having this sort of producing eddies and other cyclical currents around the summit, and that results in a lot of the time a lot more productivity just above the summit, and so that kind of transcends
Can you zoom
down
in?
into
You
the
got there?
biological communities that exist on the summits and along the flanks of the seamounts, and you end up with these extremely abundant and diverse communities of what usually suspension feeders, so sponges and corals and other things like crinoids, for instance.
Okay, zoom out.
And so I think, as I was saying, we can expect
you.
to have a lot of really interesting and plentiful biology during this dive.
Some stuff up here.
There's a little hole in the rock. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Little bridge. Coral on the other side.
Something living in there.
Ooh, little puka. This is just such a contrast from yesterday. Yesterday we were looking at these newly formed pillow basalts that were very striated. And here we've got this sort of rounded, crusty... No, I think it's really pretty. Deb is not happy.
Oh, really?
It's not that I'm not happy.
Interesting geology.
I wouldn't call this particularly exciting geology.
Oh boy, my metrics are way off.
That's okay. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, there are other geologists on the line who might be thrilled by this. Is Patty on the line yet? Or Bob?
So another... Sorry, to continue my
Go for it.
biological, you know...
What is the thing in the back?
A sponge, I think. But
Okay, zoom in
so
video.
to further my point about how productive seamounts are, we're also a lot shallower today than we have been on a lot of the past dives. Thank you, Scott, for pointing this out. So basically, there should also be a lot more food getting from the sea surface down to the sea floor, because particulate organic carbon does decrease with depth. The deeper you go, the less food there is. So because we're working at about 1,200 meters today, there should be a lot more food available for a lot of these animals, and therefore result
zoom
in
out.
much larger and luxuriant communities. Thank you, Scott.
Halfway through the ship move.
Okay.
Oops.
On the
Think I can
past
get
couple
over to that
dives,
sponge?
you've been seeing,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
the odd isotid, some holothurians.
It's kind of
some
interesting
superpores,
terrain.
Might
but
have to come
this is
up
just,
and over and face back at
you
it.
know,
Okay.
so
But
far
you-
we've just
you
been
got plenty of
bombarded with
room to
black
do that if
corals
you
and
want.
sponges.
I might just
a
go
lot
into
of
this
them
thing.
in
I'll see
the
if they
first,
even
you
want to
know,
get a
10
close look.
minutes of a
Sure.
dive.
Smart.
Set my toe down over here.
Yeah, so you can tell when you rotate.
So back to the
starboard,
geology. Mary Jo, how excited are you by
don't
this
need near as much
geology?
as when you rotate port, right? Because you're being helped by the tether.
Yeah, I think a lot more about much more recently erupted lavas and something like this. That you know, they're weathered to the point
Set my
they look
toe
almost
down
kind
here.
of buggy,
Yeah.
which is a word that talks about those little like
Okay, zoom in video.
concave in round pockets that you see sometimes on the surfaces, and I think that that's a good indication that, you know, these have been in place for some time on the seafloor.
Thanks.
Chris, any thoughts on what this sponge is?
Yeah, I just put it in the event log. This is the first one we've seen on this cruise of the species. We know this as Poliopogon species 2 only, and it's characterized by having extremely long
Zoom out.
spicules there that it touches on the substrate. But we first encountered the species in the north of the Islands. We used to call it the bearded sponge, the bearded helmet, because that's what it looked like. 180 degrees, you'll sort of get a sense of what we're talking about.
Okay, it's going again.
So, and I don't know if anybody noticed, but I know Tina did, but there were several tiny brittle stars living on this Poliopogon.
Nice. Okay, zoom out video.
And they look quite similar to the ones we
you.
collected from the predatory sponge that we got a couple of days ago.
So, Diva, are those just small brittle stars, or are they young?
I think I'm not sure because I don't know the species, but those could just be a very small species. Because, I mean, for instance, the ones we got on the predatory sponge that day were tiny. And that just may be the adult size, or it could be that they were sheltering on the sponge because they're young and vulnerable. I'm not sure.
Okay.
There's a nice one there.
RV nav bridge zoom move completed.
Is that alright, co-pilot?
Yeah, you're just
Thank you, Bridge.
Puppying off.
yeah. Get this image and then
Move back port.
come on back home.
Okay. Let's do a snap zoom video.
Ship is in position.
We should bring your sonar away in. Can I
So
do
this
that?
is an
Yeah.
Amano
Oh, yeah.
Carcinus,
50
which
meters.
we've seen a couple of on all of our dives so far.
I could ask Nav. Sorry,
as well
Nav.
as there's a beautiful coral with a squat lobster in it.
Actually, let's give you 20. You're at 20.
Great, thank you. That helps.
I'm gonna turn to look at you.
Okay, let's zoom out video, and I'll.
Wait, you're okay.
Yeah.
So this
just
is a
need to-
chrysogorgid from the genus Chrysogorgia. And there was a beautiful little, I think, chirostylid squat lobster in it.
Okay. Coming back.
Come on back home.
Okay, and now we're moving into sort of a flatter area where there's a bit more sediment cover. Maybe we'll see some deposit feeders. And Scott's noting that that squat lobster did look like she had eggs on the underside of her abdomen.
You're good.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, I have a couple more degrees
To port.
to port, but you're fine.
I really did get out to the side there.
That's all right. I would yell at you a lot more if
Ooh.
I was
There's
concerned.
another shiny thing over here.
So we see some ripple marks as we're moving along the slope. and what looked like either really thin sheet flows or some kind of sediment. You can just see tiny ridges every so often along our view right now.
Watch your right toe on that little guy.
Can we flick the lasers on for 1 second just to get a gauge of how big this is?
Pilot, the lasers are working.
Okay, so this community is about 1 meter high. Thank you, pilots. You can turn it off if you need to.
Lasers coming off.
Do we have time to image this one at all?
And this is also
we got plenty of
Paragorgid.
Go ahead.
It looks like there are 2 of them here.
I'll keep it as
And
steady as I can.
these are bubblegum corals. And there's also... Ooh, there's so much going on here. Okay, so there are hydroids on the rocks.
Okay, that's the hairy
2,
stuff?
yes. Then there are 2 Paragorgids, bubblegum corals. Then there's an anemone.
Wow.
Just in focus.
Zoom
and
out
then
video.
there's
I'm gonna
also
sit down.
some
Okay,
mental ophiuroids living on these corals.
What is it living on, though? Because honestly, I mean, the shape of whatever it's on doesn't look like it's a rock.
So that looks like an old coral community that died. And then maybe got
when you look at
covered
its
with
branching structure,
manganese?
it might. I mean, it doesn't really look like rock.
Not really a good toe hold, but
See what
let's
I
try
mean?
that.
Yeah. But does it
All right,
like,
zoom in video. I'll hold it as
it
steady
looks
as I
like
can.
what used to be a coral community,
Yeah.
but then got covered with
I
manganese.
got one of your lights down. If you want the other one,
I
let
would
me
go
know.
with that.
Okay, I'll leave it up to video.
Let's see. Yeah, the other one would be good,
Other one? Yeah.
just so they're even. Thank you.
Is there anything in particular you want to look at? Watch leads.
We could go.
Oh, good. Scott France, he thinks it's also potentially an old coral skeleton.
We can
with
go
the
up to
carbon
that
manganese.
top
No, we're good, thank you,
colony
pilots.
there, that with the black in the background.
Okay, video
Good
just wants a
beautiful.
quick, nice shot, and then we'll move on.
This is really beautiful.
This is just
so much
beautiful,
nice.
yeah.
Yep.
And look at the amount of ophiuroids.
Co-pilot, you happy with 185?
How's that video?
Beautiful. I'm
Zoom
gonna come
in.
in.
Can we
a
zoom in
little
on that one that's
bit.
stretched out
Let's do.
to the left of these polyps?
To the left.
Of the polyps, yeah. If you just pan left, you'll hit the
Closer to
ophiuroid.
200.
I'll hold
eh?
this partial if you want to.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
left.
You want to zoom out a bit?
Sure.
Let's do 200. Yeah.
Ah, I'm losing my toe. Yeah, let's zoom out.
All right.
Would you like me to call it in now?
Sure.
Okay.
Beautiful. Thank you, pilot.
Yeah, sorry,
Bridge RV nav.
Oh, sorry.
sorry, video.
Go for
No
bridge.
worries.
Yeah,
Twisting
I'd
my
like to
toe
request
and
that
lost
ship
my
move
whole
No worries, thank
30
you.
meters, bearing 200, 0.2 knots.
30 meters, bearing 200, 0.2 knots.
Thank you, Bridge.
You're welcome.
Okay, pointing.
Position move
Swing
initiated.
arms back to normal.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bridge.
And that move was toward 200.
200. Yeah.
Copy. Oh, there's a fish.
And a
See.
rock. Can we zoom on the fish?
Zoom in. Quick
Where's
zoom.
There's a fish there
Yeah.
near the bottom of the rock.
Wow.
Holding partial.
Okay, so this looks like a Synaphobranchid, which is an eel-like fish, maybe.
You can.
Oh no, what's a
Hold it.
fellow, Bruce?
Could
Slowly
we please
push
get
out, but-
could we please get another close-up? This is a really unusual fish.
Okay, you're at the end of your tether. Just
Okay.
be
All right.
patient here.
Hold in here.
Okay.
I think it's a hagfish.
Oh my god.
Hold,
You're
zoom
okay.
out.
You're
Zoom
okay.
out video. I'm gonna.
So where there are hagfish, there are
gonna sit down.
carcasses. And if we find a carcass, I will literally lose my mind in the back end.
Please don't
Wow.
lose your mind.
It
We
would
need
be
it for the rest of the cruise.
amazing.
Wait, so like,
I would be
what are
very
we?
excited as
We're
well.
talking like a whale carcass or
Yeah,
something?
or
Are you
or
serious?
anything. I
Oh,
mean, they
man.
must just hang around somewhere at some
Yeah.
point when they're not feeding. But
Easy.
Are these the ones that
that
create their own
does look like a
mucus?
hagfish. Yes, exactly. So they have a defensive mechanism. Ooh, he's really scratched up as well.
He's moving around.
Okay.
Huh.
Let's zoom out partial and just
Okay,
hold it
so
there.
they
That's fine.
Thanks.
basically these are one of the most prolific scavengers on the deep sea floor. what they do is when they find, for instance, a whale carcass, they'll actually tie themselves in knots to get purchase on that carcass to be able to rip off flesh. And they have a defensive mechanism when they're feeding to avoid being predated on, basically eaten by other things. Where they, at the touch of whatever it is, just can secrete huge amounts of mucus. Oh, and there's a beautiful cup coral above it.
Okay,
and
are we done with this guy?
huge amounts of mucus.
I doubt
so, yeah, they're very, very interesting.
You should get a close up.
So I don't want to keep a hagfish for a pet, is what you're telling me.
I don't know. Maybe something's wrong with it.
He's hard to track here.
Maybe he thinks D2 is a
carcass.
potential option.
All right, he's out. Thanks. Sorry, video. That was
No,
it's just moving around so much.
Better to try for it. Nice.
And there's a cup coral somewhere, I hear.
It was to the right a little bit. Huh, that's so interesting. There's also a beautiful little sponge with what looked like a commensal shrimp on it, perhaps. The cup coral at the bottom, an Antipitherian, black coral. It's going to be a busy dive.
I absolutely agree. I think we're going to see a lot more biology than we have in the last couple of days.
I mean, Bruce, I'm thinking about this hagfish again. I mean, have you seen them on these dives before, just kind of hanging around? If you're there, we'd love some of your...
Bruce Mundy.
Hey, Bruce.
This is Bruce Mundy from NOAA. I'm a fishery biologist. I identify or often misidentify fishes here on these cruises. I haven't seen hagfish. I think this is the first one that's come up on any of these Okeanos Explorer expeditions here in the Central Pacific. Maybe Chris can correct me on that, but I think that's the first one that we've seen. There's one hagfish species that's been recorded from Guam. It's called Eptatricus, I'm going to mispronounce that, Eptatritus Carl Hubbsi, named after an ichthyologist Carl Hubbs, who was at Scripps. It's the largest hagfish species, if I remember correctly. It's known from the Hawaiian Islands, from Wake Atoll, and the Marianas from Guam. So that was quite something to see. There may be other species, though, because it's very fully sampled. And even in the Hawaiian Islands, Chef Drazen has observed that there are two distinct size classes of hagfish on his drop camera
Do we
video.
have time for zoom on that coral
there may
down
be two species in the Hawaiian
the bottom of the rock?
So, we wouldn't know unless we collected.
See a little crab in there, Dan?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Since it's so
there's
photogenic.
already just so much more. Thank you, Bruce,
Okay,
very much for that.
I'll center it up here.
You know, and also I was just thinking, seamounts, they tend to be, because of all the productivity around their summits, they tend to be sort of hotspots for marine mammals and large fish and other
Right, I'll
things. So
just
you
hold
never
this for a
know.
moment.
Maybe you'll be a really lucky dive. But just again,
You
lots of
can come to the
biology
right
going
just a
on.
touch.
Yep.
Here we have another beautiful coral, a pronoid with
Trying here.
its commensal ophiroids as usual. I saw a crab back there in the crevice, several sponges.
Sirius looks pretty
This
cool.
pronoid is likely the
starboard
genus
minute.
Narella.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I'll come out a little wider.
Okay.
Could we tilt up just a touch?
Yep.
It's coming tight on Sirius.
Roger.
And Scott's saying that this is actually, Narella is actually one of the most speciose
Keep coming.
genera of pronoid. It's a most speciose, it means it has the most species.
Keep coming on Sirius.
Yeah.
Don't
and
stop
so,
there.
and they're
Okay.
just very common in the deep sea, and we have seen quite a
Hold
couple
there.
Narella, not necessarily the same species, but quite a couple of
Cool shot.
individuals from that genus on
Let's give it
several of
1
our
second
dives.
for the heaves to level.
Yeah.
And you can also see some sponges in the background,
Okay,
as well
you're
as an
clear.
Antipitherian on the
Come
lower
on.
right
Full way.
corner.
Come on.
Oh.
Hi, Diva. It's Scott France.
Wide
Hey
enough.
Careful
Scott,
that
thanks for
coral there.
calling in.
I was sitting on him.
Sure. I'm probably delayed, so you probably moved off it.
Thank
But I
you,
just
Pat.
wanted to note
That's
on that Narella colony that it's also very common to see that one
ophiuroid brittle stars sitting in the branches. And to the left, there's another colony that's very planar. I'm not sure if that's the same thing. There's a second primnoid even further left.
Lose the skids video.
Can be your left, pilot, please?
Left? Yeah, let's actually keep it full wide. See what science wants to see.
So, Scott, do you know what genus the ophiuroids are? Is it always the same genus?
I should remember, and I don't recall. I'll see if I can dig it up and let you know. I'm not as good at my ophiuroids, and I don't know why I can never seem to remember the genus names.
We're looking at the ophiuroids?
No, we were looking at this primnoid directly in front of you.
Okay. That one?
Yes,
okay.
please.
I had a 50-50 there. Go ahead, video.
Watch your
So,
front
Scott,
left toe.
Fourth colony.
Holding pressure.
Do you think this is this bear, the one without the commensal, is also a Narella?
Sorry, that
Going in
broke
for a
up.
bit more.
I believe this is another primnoid.
Ship's in
but you
position.
notice how it's very planar instead of
Copy.
being a little bit bushy in the planes or multi-dimensions. This is just one plane, but it's definitely a primnoid, and I can tell that because primnoids almost have, each polyp almost has this little suit of armor created by these scales that are wrapped all around it. The scales are used to identify them, and they really show up well. It looks kind of rough. So this is definitely a primnoid. Can't guarantee that it's the same species that we were just looking at or the same genus. But I will notice here that I don't think there's an ophiuroid in this
Okay,
one.
we'll zoom out.
And we do have a good sense that some of these brittle
Nice.
stars are very host-specific to certain corals or certain species of corals. So it is interesting that you see the two on either side
Let me know
have
when you're done
ophiuroids,
with
but
that
not
rock
that one
band.
in the middle.
Okay.
And you could use that perhaps to suggest
think,
that maybe that's a different species, just alone because of the associates with it.
Wow. Okay, that's really helpful. Thank you, Scott.
Anything else on this rock we want to look at?
No, we can move off this rock. Thanks,
Okay.
pilot.
So before you push out, I
Yeah.
think we would
No, we
be,
really appreciate everyone. Scott is
I think
please
we would
correct
be
me if I'm wrong.
remiss if we didn't
One of Scott's
check
specialty
laterally
is
for something.
Okay.
corals,
idea.
basically. Scott,
So
do you want to?
maybe
Did you
come up
introduce yourself?
a couple
I don't
meters
think you
off.
did.
Okay,
Come on.
I'm going to push out
Aces
just
on the
a
line?
hair.
Yeah, that's fine. I think
Okay, if
you're
not.
good.
So
there,
So Scott is
just
a coral
left and right.
biologist.
The
He
ship
works
has
at
stopped.
Louisiana
Okay.
Lafayette.
Oh, okay. Should
And
we
he was
bump up
one of the
sonar
previous
range?
biology expedition leads on
I don't think it's going
the
to matter on this
Hawaiian
terrain.
Islands expedition last year.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if that
Oh,
was...
Yeah, that was a fine introduction. I was having problems hearing you on the
Just kinda
telecon, so I
zigzag back and
turned
forth.
that down,
Yeah, I
went
think
back to
so.
the video, and then I heard you
I-
asking me to introduce myself, so I ran back to the
I-
phone. But yes,
myself
and I was
if I didn't.
also
I
on
know,
the
that would be
Okeanos
really cool.
Explorer expedition in 2014 to the Atlantic canyons, and
I go out to that rock.
my
Okay, take a
lab,
little
my
look.
students,
Good.
and our specialty is in genetic analysis of deep water corals to understand their diversity, help with the
Quite a bit of
taxonomy
snow
and
here.
naming, and we are particularly interested in
Yeah,
bamboo corals, Chrysogorgia
I'm not going to
corals,
turn.
Okay.
and I've done a lot of work with Les Lotning at the
Pilots,
University
could I
of Hawaii.
zoom in just a touch to get rid of the
Doing a lot of
skids?
morphology. My students are doing a lot of
yeah, that's
genetics,
fine.
and Wes and I, going all
Okay.
the way back to 2001, have done a number of ROV dives studying these deep sea
Keep your
corals
eyes
in
peeled
the
for whale carcass tara.
North Atlantic,
Maybe the
Caribbean,
same thing back
Yeah,
the other
good
way.
point.
Yeah.
and so on. So it's a real joy.
Just
to
kind of
be,
like as you push up the slope,
following
and then we
along
can get it moving.
Seeing these environments out here in the Western Pacific. This is all very new area.
I think it was worth a check.
So it's
Oh, yeah,
exciting,
sure.
and it's also difficult when we're asked to identify things because there's so much that we don't know. It's the first time being down here, and we don't have any, or we don't have too much that we can relate what we're seeing to. So it's a bit of a challenge for us, but it's a fun challenge, and we enjoy it. And thanks for asking for our help.
And we are extremely grateful to have you following along with us and contributing your scientific expertise to, this expedition. It's great to have you with us, Scott. So thank you for that wonderful introduction, which was way better than I did. And thank you for all that coral knowledge. Please keep it coming throughout the dive.
So, Diva, there's a question from one of our scientists that's following along. Would you be able to see something like a whale fall on sonar? Like how,
Yes.
if you thought...
Well,
That's the question. Is how
It depends
would
how
we
big the
identify-
whale is, I guess. What's your sonar res?
We were actually just talking about that, and we're not sure that it would show up
No,
on this terrain, but
it certainly would on flat terrain. Here, though, it'd be a little bit hard to make it out because of all these other rocks that look and are shaped.
Darn
like,
these rocks. They might get in the way of the...
Hey, you said it, Deb. I didn't say it.
but we are zigzagging upslope, covering as much lateral movement as we can to see if we can find anything.
Yeah.
Great.
But yeah,
I feel
it
really
would
bad
show
that
up.
I've gotten everybody's hopes up now because we saw one hagfish.
Well, I mean, but it's not real common to just see hagfish, is it?
Yeah, and he was really scraped up. It was interesting. Even if we don't see one, the biology is going to be fascinating, and the geology is already so different to what we've been seeing over the last couple of dives.
And the hagfish itself is rare, right?
Pardon?
The hagfish itself is rare?
Yeah, so Bruce, our fish, one of our fish experts on the line, has said he's never just seen one swimming. And the only time I've seen them is attached to a carcass of some kind. So that's why we were so excited, I guess. He looked a little confused, though.
Yeah, he really did. Of course, the bright lights might
Would
do
have been
that
the
to you.
20 LEDs
I
pointed
don't
at
think
him.
they have eyes, though.
Oh,
Really?
well.
They're eyeless entirely?
I'm not sure. Let's look it up.
Brian is saying that they're eyeless.
Yeah. Yeah, I
guys
think
still
so.
comfortable with 200?
I just asked
fish on the
questions
right.
about fish. I don't know.
Let's see.
Fish on
So
the right.
we're
Yep.
still wandering around.
Just
in
at the
these,
edge of your frame.
Really
Big one.
weathered-looking
Oh, yeah.
rocks.
I
You know,
think
they all look like they have
215.
this
Snaps
super
in.
thick coating
Yep.
of manganese.
215.
And actually, when we zoom in on them, you can
Ooh.
see that pebbly texture, which I know we're zooming in on a fish, but you can look at the rocks too.
So this is an Ophidiid or a
Zoom in more.
Cuscule.
And is that a sponge that reaches?
And there's also a sponge to the left and a crinoid
That's cool.
in the foreground
So we got an ID?
of the fish.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
So while we're
He's just
thinking
swimming
about
away.
this,
Sorry.
we were talking about this texture of the manganese
All right, let's
crust, and
zoom
we
out.
think it could be, botryoidal, basically sort of a
Also
pebbly
it's-
Very
or
cooperative.
grapey kind of texture.
Gallimimus. Just want to take a quick look at this rock over here.
Looks like Pride Rock.
Oh my gosh, it does look like Pride Rock. Look at
what
this
is that?
ledge. How interesting.
So-
I wonder what's underneath it.
So is this,
Well, let's
it's
see.
so flat, it's so big. I wonder if this is some evidence for a sort of a drowned coral reef or carbonate platform that might have been a little higher and has fallen down.
Maybe it's sitting on top of a whale carcass.
Still hoping for that whale carcass.
What did I do?
You guys ready for a move?
Not yet.
Okay.
Well, actually,
Yeah, go
yeah, we're pretty far out.
Excellent. We'll do another 30-meter
Interesting.
hop.
And yeah, if
I'm gonna adjust
Copilot's
the-
going to adjust your lighting video, but if you want to kind of zoom in.
Bridge RV nav.
I don't know if I can do much.
Go ahead, ROV Nav.
Got a ship move for you. 30 meters, bearing 215, 0.2 knots.
30 meters, bearing
Help at all.
215.2 knots. Good copy.
Okay, not much
Moving
underneath
into
it.
80.
Not much of anything.
So
Good copy, Bridge. Thank
we
you.
did see a couple
Okay, let's zoom out video.
corals here.
Thanks, Copilot.
There's an isidid whip coral just in view right now. As well as there were, I thought I saw another one. Maybe not.
I will say that this big flat, flat rock. You can tell it's sitting on top of other in place
Yeah.
rocks.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it came down a slope or something.
Interesting.
This is that time I need to find those carbonate geology experts.
It definitely looks like it's not meant to be there. It's a biologist's perspective right there.
I'm just getting a wide shot for now, but if there's anything you want
Yeah,
to zoom
so
in
if we could zoom in on if we could move towards the corals on the left of the screen,
Okay.
that would be great. Thank you.
Where's that reflection coming from? Oh, you're just tilted up.
Yeah.
Okay.
About horizontal right now.
Both uppers are pointed up and out.
Not really. This is really cool looking. Here. I'm just gonna saddle over.
So the coral directly in the center of the screen right now is Bathypathes, which is a type of black coral or Antipatherian.
You want to do a snap zoom video?
Sure.
Oh, all three of them are actually.
Looks like they got Nike, but oh, a little fast. Sorry.
No worries.
Go ahead and zoom in.
Partial.
Yeah.
Look like trees in a forest.
They do. Exactly.
Ah, I'm losing it. Okay.
And there was also
Zoom
a
out.
Chrysogorgid to the right.
The little
I don't
one.
see that. All three of the ones that look like trees are Bathypathes.
Such a
Can we zoom on what looks like a little Chrysogorgia
Can we
just
try
to the
for
right of that black
coral
coral
again?
that's in the
Sure.
center of the image right now?
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, so yeah, so if you zoom in
Go
on the
ahead.
middle
Oh.
black coral, when you get closer, you'll see that there's a sort of a bush-like little pan down a
whole
bit.
thing's partial.
You'll see that there's a bush-like coral to the right of this.
Oh, to the right.
Yes,
Oh,
please.
okay. All right. Let's go partial video.
Yeah,
Great
whole thing
eyes, you
partial.
guys. I did not see that from that far
That
away.
one out there.
So yeah, no. So this
Right
thing
here,
just
right
Oh, I
behind
see it.
the brown. Yeah.
Small one.
Yeah, that's
see
the
the-
one right there. I'd like to see what the
Okay.
branching pattern is like.
My toe there.
And also
Oh,
you can see it's got a commensal, what I think is a spot lobster
One way to
inside
open
of
up
it.
your box.
Take your time.
Got a fish coming, too.
Yeah, look at your manip cam's got a big eel coming in.
Okay, you can frame it up.
Looks like it might also have a small
Yeah.
commensal
Just-
Eurotychid unit of some kind.
Whoa.
Photobomb.
Okay, he really wants to be in this amount.
Okay, let's full zoom.
Open the bio box, see if he swims in it.
That's
Is that close
really
enough,
beautiful
Scott?
for how small it is.
Yeah, that's excellent. Thanks very much.
Okay.
It's very interesting to see that you get, sometimes you get
Definitely
these commensal
current.
fluctations when the
We can go look
colony
for the
is
fish.
You want to look for the
host
fish?
colony
It's,
itself.
it's
really
under you.
it's
Just
really
back
very
straight up.
small.
It might be gone.
No, this is the same big plateau rock.
I think it's
Oh,
gone.
you can also see one of the big Nematocrustinus just on the other side of that rock. We don't have to zoom on it.
Yeah, I think the fish is gone. He booked
Okay,
it.
that's okay. It had an interesting tail.
I don't see him in my view.
I don't see him in manip cam either.
So I'm not really sure, I'm not really positive what any of these rocks are, but I did just want to mention
Sorry
that
for
some of the
scraping your
boulders
rock
are
box
so
there.
large.
It's okay.
If they are igneous, it maybe suggests that they
do it
have
all
a
the time.
relatively high silica content, if they are silica-rich.
Why don't you push out
igneous
ahead a
rock,
little?
Okay.
which would lend itself
All right, can we
towards
brighten it up
a
video,
blocky
and
or
we're gonna keep an eye out for a whale
massive
carcass.
outcropping that would shed these
Still
large
looking.
boulders.
Once you
This
center
very
up,
flat platform, though, is confusing in the context
I'm
of
gonna
that
have you
hypothesis
bring the
because
craft up.
I
Is it
don't
sagging?
think the
Yeah.
platform
There's a
is
fish
necessarily
on the right.
igneous, but
It's
if it
pretty
were,
far away
that
though. Might
very flat surface
looked a bit
suggests
like
that the liquid is relatively low
big fish.
viscosity, which would
Really?
also
or an eel.
suggest a pretty low
it's-
silica
ship is in
content
position.
for that particular rock, and it would
Went
be
past it already.
not totally unusual, seeing if there was a juxtaposition of very low silica and very high silica rocks at the very top of this volcanic feature.
Thanks, Mary Jo. So there is still a bit of sediment cover as we're moving up the slope.
We all settled out, Nav?
The ship is. I bet Sirius will settle in 2 minutes.
It looks like there are little pock marks in the sediment cover. Is it possible that this is biology related somehow?
I don't see what you're referring to, Mary Jo.
But yes, we're doing pretty small movements. So.
Like down in the lower right-hand
Bridge,
side
precision
right
move
now,
completed.
just moving out of the screen, it looks like there are
Thank you, Bridge.
clear light-colored patches in the sediment. I don't know if that's color or
Yeah,
if
so
that's
that's probably just bioturbation.
But every once in a while.
Yes, that's probably just bioturbation from some type of fauna.
Can you
So
do a
fauna that
snap
live
zoom
in
on
the
that white thing?
sediment.
Sure.
During their biological movements, they kind of, shift sediment around, expel sediment, submerge sediment, and you end up with these lighter colored marks. So this looks like a dead coral stalk.
Okay.
There used to be a coral attached to
No
that,
interest.
I'm guessing.
Not impressed.
Co-pilot, you still happy with 215?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Let's get that craft up when you get a chance to.
Okay.
You're fine to. You got hydraulics up and you're good to go whenever.
Okay. I'll just put it in auto depth. And
Yeah, that sounds good. If you need to command it while you're doing it, just real quick, bring it up. You're fine.
There we go.
It's I wouldn't
So, Mary Jo,
normally
what do you,
care,
what do
but
you
it's
think,
affecting the sonar.
What do we have
Sure.
to say about this geology right now?
Oh, you just missed her.
Oh, I'm sorry, I already missed it. Never mind. Sorry, I was wandering away.
Yeah, maybe I'll put it in.
That's okay. These
You're-
are
you're
big
probably
boulders.
fine.
These are
Probably fine.
massive.
Okay, hydraulics good.
Yep,
Okay, hydraulics coming on.
you're live.
And okay.
Thank you, sir.
All
Can
right,
you see the lasers really quickly?
hydraulics off.
Lasers.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Sorry, can you see the lasers?
Yeah, can we, pilot, can we put the lasers on?
Lasers are on.
Lasers are on. Okay, we just had to reposition the craft,
Okay.
but we're back with you.
Oh, there they are. They're kind of tiny. Can you see them?
Yeah, I see them. Thank you.
So this car looks like another Narella primnoid.
We're probably good for another move now.
Copy that.
If
Calling
you
it in.
want to go ahead.
215, 30
Snap
meters.
zoom.
Sure.
Yeah, affirmative.
Bridge, nav.
Go ahead, Nav.
Yeah, another ship move. Same as last time. 30 meters, bearing 215.2 knots.
Can we zoom on that?
30 meters,
Just on the
bearing
left of the screen, there's
215.2
a
knots. Position move
sort of white
initiated.
translucent
Thank you,
Oh, sure.
ROV.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just a
Thank you,
little bit
Bridge.
variety.
Oh, good spot.
We're just going to do a quick zoom in. If we want to get closer, we can.
Roger.
I think just a quick zoom should be
Yeah,
fine.
go ahead.
Okay, so this
Oh
here
my
we've got
gosh.
a beautiful sponge with what looks like a commensal ophiuroid living on it.
Don't forget, you have a
Smash.
constant tug backwards.
Yeah. Sorry. Hold on. Let me reposition here. That was my fault.
Looks like that eel's underneath you now,
All right.
judging by Sirius's cam.
No, I think
Oh,
it's in between us.
Oh, between them?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see that now.
Go ahead, video.
Optical illusion.
He's curious.
So what are we zooming in? You can really see that botryoidal texture, that
Go ahead.
pebbly texture that sort of akin to bunches of grapes. Was that a sponge?
That's
I think it is a sponge. What kind of sponge is that, shore-based scientist?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's zoom out.
You're fine.
Got to reset here a little bit.
You're just
Okay.
being pulled east.
Yeah.
And it's hard to
and then fly like that,
Unfortunately,
overcompensating
Kelly
and
stepped away. He's the
scraping the
party
rocks.
person who really